Hello, English learners, and welcome to another great podcast with English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we have another really great lesson for you, elementary lesson.
That's right. And it's another lesson about money.
We have no money here at English Pod. We are in debt here.
In debt.
Yes.
Okay.
In debt.
debt.
So what does that mean? Why don't you tell us?
If I owe you money, I'm in debt.
In debt.
In
Yes.
fact, I think I am in debt to you.
You owe me $2.50 for a Coke Zero today.
That's true.
All right. Okay, so let's get started. Let's take a look at our vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
We have two words today in our vocabulary preview. And the first one is recession.
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 So, recession. Everyone's talking about it right now. And what does it mean?
I don't know. That's your job. I don't know. I really don't know. Why don't you tell me, Erica? Because this isn't my topic for today.
Okay. Recession is a period of time when the economy of a country is doing badly.
In a recession, the country is making less money.
That's true. So maybe we can give a few examples of things that happen in a recession to show the meaning of this a little bit better.
Right. So, for example, in a recession, many people lose their jobs.
Because companies might close or go bankrupt.
Exactly. And also, people start spending less money.
That's true. And the stock prices of companies fall pretty
fall.
Yeah, they fall a lot, hey?
Yeah. And that's what's going on now in the United States.
Very true.
Okay, so let's take a look at our second word, and it has to do with recession. It's broke.
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 I'm broke.
Broke. It means that you have no money. You're broke.
I'm broke.
Right, so these are our two words for vocabulary preview today, and you're going to hear them in the dialogue.
This dialogue is about a man who is in debt. He's broke. Let's find out what happens.
Hello, I'm here to see Mr. Corleone. Right this way, sir. Johnny, what can I do for you? Mr. Corleone, I'm really sorry to trouble you, but I need your help. Anything for you, Johnny. Your father was like a brother to me. Well, sir, you see, this recession has hit me pretty hard. I lost my job and I'm in a lot of debt. I see. Yeah, you know, I've got credit card bills, car payments, I've got to pay my mortgage. And on top of all that, I have to pay my son's college tuition. So you're asking for a loan? Well, I just thought maybe you could help me out. What? At a time like this? I'm broke too, you know. You're not the only one who's been hit by the recession. I lost half my money and the stock market crashed. Go on, get...
Okay, so that was a bit unexpected.
Yeah, that was certainly strange. He didn't go to the bank to ask for money, did he?
No, he went to the mob, and the mob is broke.
Oh no, you know it's a bad recession when even the mob runs out of money.
All right, so why don't we start by looking at our language takeaway?
Language takeaway.
All right, so for today's language takeaway, we have 4 words from the dialogue, which we think are really important.
Yes, so why don't we start with the first one? Loan.
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 So Erica, tell us about a loan. What is a loan?
Okay, when you borrow money, you get a loan.
A loan, yes. Not to be confused with alone, like by myself.
No, so this is L-O-A-N.
Loan.
Right.
Okay, great. Let's take a look at our second word, mortgage.
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 Now, this is very common. I'm sure many of you have mortgages. What is a mortgage?
A mortgage is a type of a loan. Basically, it's a loan that helps you to buy a house.
A house or a property.
Yeah. So this is a funny word. I mean, there's this strange mortgage with a T.
Yeah, it has a T in it, but you don't pronounce it. You say mortgage. Mortgage.
So not mortgage.
Not mortgage.
Mortgage.
Mortgage. Yeah. I had trouble spelling that one for this lesson, so I learned it well now.
Okay. Let's move to our third word today.
Hit me pretty hard.
Hit me pretty hard.
Hit me pretty hard.
Hit me pretty hard. I think we have some examples that will help us understand this phrase.
Example 1.
My divorce hit me pretty hard. I'm so depressed.
Example 2. This cold has hit me pretty hard. I've been in bed for a week. Example 3.
The news of Fluffy's death hit me pretty hard. I've been crying for days.
Okay, so that's a lot clearer.
Yeah.
Great. Why don't we take a look at our last word for language takeaway?
Tuition.
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 So this is the money you have to pay to your school so that you can study there.
Right. Usually it's in college, right, or university.
Yeah, but sometimes in some countries you have to pay tuition for public school.
Okay, great. So it's time to listen to our dialogue again, and it's going to be slower so we can listen to all the words that we just talked about.
Hello, I'm here to see Mr. Corleone.
Right this way, sir. Charlie, what can I do for you?
Mr. Corleone, I'm really sorry to trouble you, but I need your help.
Anything for you, Charlie. Your father was like a brother to me.
Well, sir, you see, this recession has hit me pretty hard. I lost my job, and I'm in a lot of debt.
I see.
Yeah, you know, I've got credit card bills, car payments, I've got to pay my mortgage, and on top of all that, I have to pay my son's college tuition.
So you're asking for a loan?
Well, I just thought maybe you could help me out.
What? At a time like this? I'm broke too, you know. You're not the only one who has been hit by the recession. I lost half my money in the stock market crash. Go on, get out of here.
Okay, so I think a lot of the key language we just talked about is a lot more clear now. But you know, I also noticed some really interesting phrases in this dialogue.
Yes, I did too. So let's start with Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder is a tool that we use to help you sound more native.
Right, so you can sound more natural when you're speaking.
So we take a really common phrase and we show you some great natural ways of expressing that same idea.
Exactly, and today we have 3 of these examples. Let's start with the first one.
So this phrase we use when we want to ask somebody, "Can I help you?"
What can I do for you? What can I do for you?
Yeah, that sounds really, really polite and really natural.
Right, so instead of saying, can I help you, or, I don't know, what do you need? We can just say, what can I do for you?
Exactly.
Great.
So let's move to our second phrase. This phrase we use when we need something, when we want to say, I'm sorry to bother you.
Or, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay, let's listen.
I'm really sorry to trouble you. I'm really sorry to trouble you.
I'm sorry to trouble you. This phrase might be a little bit more difficult to understand how it's used, but we've got some examples.
Yes, so let's listen.
Example 1.
Can I trouble you for a moment? I just need you to sign this form for me.
Example 2. I'm sorry to trouble you, but may I go home early today? Example 3.
Can I trouble you for a pen? Mine is not working anymore.
Okay, so now let's take a look at our last phrase for Fluency Builder. On top of all that.
On top of all that.
On top of all that.
This is a really useful phrase. Marco, how would you use it?
Well, for example, today I lost my job,
Oh no.
my car got stolen,
Oh my God.
and on top of all that, my girlfriend broke up with me.
That was a terrible day.
It was. But don't worry, you can use this phrase also in a positive way.
That's true. You could say, so today was a really great day. It was my birthday and all my friends came to visit me, and on top of all that, I got 1,000,000 presents.
That is a great day. So you can use on top of all that in this way.
It's like, and also.
And also, yeah.
Yeah, so on top of all that.
So we are ready to listen to our dialogue a third time. We can hear all the words that we just talked about and all the phrases, and you'll definitely be able to understand a lot better now.
Hello, I'm here to see Mr. Corleone. Right this way, sir. Johnny, what can I do for you? Mr. Corleone, I'm really sorry to trouble you, but I need your help. Anything for you, Johnny. Your father was like a brother to me. Well, sir, you see, this recession has hit me pretty hard. I lost my job and I'm in a lot of debt. I see. Yeah, you know, I've got credit card bills, car payments, I've got to pay my mortgage, and on top of all that, I have to pay my son's college tuition. So you're asking for a loan? Well, I just thought maybe you could help me out. What? At a time like this? I'm broke too, you know. You're not the only one who's been hit by the recession. I lost half my money in the stock market crash. Go on!
Today's dialogue was all about being in debt, right?
Yes.
And different people have different attitudes or different viewpoints on being in debt.
Yes, that's true. For example, in North America and in Canada, it's a really common thing.
Yeah, it's actually almost good to be in debt.
It's more than good, it's necessary to be in debt.
That's right. Unless you have a history of being in debt and regularly paying off your debts, you can't actually borrow money. You can't get a mortgage. You can't get a car loan so you can buy a new car.
Right, that's called a credit history. So you must have a good credit history in order to be able to, like you say, buy a car or buy a house.
Yeah, and you know, the funny thing is, when I was in university, maybe I was 18 years old, the first thing that happened at university was, you know, banks came to our university and started offering you credit cards. So you can get a credit card when you're 18, no problem.
And not only do they offer you credit cards, they give you like free gifts if you sign up for a credit card.
I know, they really want you to have a credit card.
Of course, they want you to spend more money. That's the trick.
Yeah, but you know what? It's totally different. In Europe, for example, I used to live in Switzerland, and they're really careful with debt. Like, it's a bad thing to be in debt.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's bad to be in debt, definitely.
For example, if I want to have a credit card in Switzerland, and let's say I want to have a limit of 500 francs that I can spend every month, I need to put in my bank account 700 francs before I can even spend that credit card money. So it's totally opposite from North America.
Well, yeah, I mean, in North America, it's crazy the way that people are in debt, and it's showing now with the recession, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So everyone, be sure to handle your money carefully. Don't be in debt unless you really, really have to.
Good financial advice from English Pod.
English Pod Financial Advising Service.
What is money? Money is something we use every day. People use money to buy things like food, clothes, and toys. We also use money to pay for services, such as taking a taxi or getting a haircut. Money is not just coins and paper. Today, many people use cards or phones to pay. But no matter how we use it, money helps us get the things we need and want. A long time ago, people did not use money. They traded things. For example, someone with eggs might trade them for bread. But this was not always easy. Money made it easier to buy and sell. Now, people can use money to save, to shop, or to give to others. Money is important in every country. Each country has its own kind of money. In the United States, people use dollars. In Europe, people use euros. In Japan, people use yen. Even though money looks different in each place, it has the same job. It helps people get what they need in daily life. Learning about money is useful. When we travel, shop, or work, we often use money. By understanding how money works and how to talk about it in English, we can be ready for real-life situations. How do people get money? People need money to live. They need it to buy food, clothes, pay for a place to live, and do many other things. But where does money come from? How do people get it? There are different ways that people can get money, and these ways can depend on who they are, where they live, and what they do. One of the most common ways to get money is by working. People have jobs, and they get money in return for their work. Some people work in shops, some in schools, some in hospitals, and some in offices. A teacher helps students learn and gets money for that work. A bus driver drives people from place to place and gets paid. A doctor helps sick people and earns money for helping. Every job is different, but many jobs help people earn money. Some people work for a company. This means they go to work every day, and the company gives them money each week or each month. This money is called a salary or wages. Other people do not work for a company. They work for themselves. These people are called self-employed. For example, a person who sells fruit in the market may be self-employed. They do not have a boss. They sell their fruit and keep the money they make. Children and students usually do not have full-time jobs, but sometimes they get money too. They might help their parents with small tasks and get some money as a reward. This money is often called pocket money or allowance. Some students work part-time after school. They might work in a cafe, a shop, or help with deliveries. This part-time job gives them extra money for things they want or need. Sometimes people receive money as a gift. On birthdays or special days, family members or friends may give money instead of presents. Some people also receive money from the government. For example, if a person is too old or too sick to work, the government might give them money to help them live. This is called financial support or benefits. There are also people who get money in other ways. Some people sell things they don't need. For example, they might sell old clothes, books, or furniture. They can sell these things online or in a market. Some people also get money by renting out a room or a house. If someone has extra space, they can let another person live there and pay rent. Another way people get money is by creating or making something. An artist may paint pictures and sell them. A musician may write songs and earn money when people listen to or buy their music. A person who writes books can get paid when people buy the book. These are creative ways to earn money, and they can be very rewarding. Getting money is a part of life. Everyone needs money for different things. But it is also important to understand that getting money often takes time and effort. Some people work very hard but still have little money. Others may have a lot. It is not always the same for everyone. What is most important is to learn how to get money in honest and smart ways. Understanding how people get money helps us think about jobs, work, and the value of time and effort. When we understand this in English, we can talk more clearly about what we do, how we live, and what we want to do in the future. How do people use money in daily life? Money is not just something we get. It is also something we use. Every day, people use money to live, to do things, and to take care of themselves and their families. Using money is a part of normal life, no matter where a person lives. Some people use money many times each day, while others use it only when they really need something. But in the end, everyone uses money for many different reasons. One of the most common ways people use money is to buy food. People go to the supermarket or small shops and pay for things like bread, rice, milk, meat, vegetables, and fruit. Some people cook at home, so they buy ingredients. Others eat outside, so they use money to pay at restaurants or cafes. Food is something we all need, and money helps us get it. People also use money to pay for their homes. This can be rent if they live in a house or apartment that belongs to someone else. Each month, they give money to the owner so they can live there. If someone owns their home, they might still have to pay for things like electricity, water, and gas. These are called bills. Paying bills is very important because we need lights, heat, and water in our homes. Without paying these bills, people may not be able to use these services. Another way people use money is for transportation. Some people take the bus, train, or subway. They need to buy a ticket or use a travel card. Others use money for gasoline if they drive a car. Even bicycles sometimes need repairs, and that can cost money too. Getting from one place to another is part of daily life, and money helps make that possible. People also use money for clothes. Clothes help us stay warm, feel comfortable, and look nice. Some people buy clothes for work, for school, or for special events. Shoes, jackets, uniforms, and bags all cost money. Some people shop in big stores, others go to small markets or secondhand shops. No matter where they buy, people use money to get what they need to wear. Money is also used for health. When someone is sick, they may need to see a doctor, buy medicine, or go to the hospital. In some countries, people have to pay for these things themselves. In other places, the government helps with the cost. Still, healthcare often needs money, and it is something many people think about when planning how they spend. Another way people use money is for communication. We use phones to talk and send messages. We use the internet to work, study, and watch videos. All of these things cost money. People pay for mobile phone service and internet at home or in cafes. Today, communication is very important, and people use money to stay connected. Some people use money for education. They might buy books, pay for school, or take classes. Parents often use money to help their children go to school. Some adults also spend money to learn new things, like English, computer skills, or music. Learning can help people get better jobs or live better lives, so using money for education is a smart choice. Entertainment is another area where people spend money. People like to watch movies, go to concerts, play games, or visit fun places like zoos and amusement parks. These activities can make life more enjoyable. People also spend money on hobbies like painting, sports, or cooking. Entertainment is not always necessary, but it helps people relax and feel happy. People also use money to help others. Sometimes, they give money to family members, friends, or people who are in need. They may give to charities or to someone who lost their job. Helping others with money is a kind and generous thing to do. It shows that money is not only for ourselves, but can also make life better for others. Lastly, people use money to save. Not all money needs to be spent right away. Some people put money in the bank or keep it in a safe place. This is called saving. Saving helps in the future, especially when there is an emergency or a special goal like buying a house or going on a trip. Saving money is not always easy, but it is important. Using money is a big part of life. We use money in small ways and big ways. By learning how people use money every day, we understand more about choices, needs, and responsibilities. When we talk about these things in English, we can share our ideas, ask questions, and live more confidently in the world around us. Saving and spending, what's the difference and why do they matter? Every person who has money needs to make a choice. This choice is between spending money and saving it. These two actions are very different, but both are important. Learning how and when to spend, and how and when to save, is a big part of understanding how money works in real life. It is also something that many people learn slowly, through experience. When we talk about these ideas in English, we can describe what we do with our money and why we do it. This helps us make better decisions and talk about everyday life more clearly. Spending money means using money to buy something or to pay for a service. Every day, people spend money. They pay for things like food, drinks, bus tickets, clothes, and other daily needs. Spending money is a normal part of life. It helps people get the things they need and enjoy their lives. Sometimes people spend money on something big, like a phone, a computer, or a vacation. Sometimes they spend it on small things like snacks or a cup of coffee. Spending money is not bad, it is necessary. But it is important to think carefully before spending, so the money is not wasted. Sometimes, people spend money without thinking. They see something they like and buy it quickly. This is called an impulse buy. It can feel good for a short time, but later the person might feel regret. Maybe they did not really need that item, or maybe they needed the money for something more important. That is why it is a good idea to ask, do I need this, or can I wait, before buying something? Good spending means choosing wisely and planning ahead. On the other hand, saving money means not spending all the money you have. Instead, you keep some of it for later. People save money for different reasons. Some save for a big goal, like going to school, buying a car, or starting a business. Others save for emergencies, such as getting sick, losing a job, or fixing something broken in the home. When people save money, they are thinking about the future. They are preparing for something that might happen, or for something they want to happen. Saving is not always easy. Many people want to save, but they also have many things to pay for. Rent, food, clothes, and other daily costs can use up most of their money. Still, even saving a small amount is a good habit. For example, saving a little each week or each month can grow into something helpful over time. Some people keep money in a special place at home. Others use a bank, which keeps the money safe and sometimes adds extra money, called interest. There are different ways to help with saving and spending. One way is to make a budget. A budget is a plan. It shows how much money a person gets and how much they need to spend. It also shows how much they can save. A budget helps people see where their money goes. For example, if someone sees they are spending a lot on coffee every day, they might choose to make coffee at home and save the extra money. A budget gives people more control over their money. Another way to save money is to think before buying. When someone wants to buy something, they can ask, is this a need or a want? A need is something important for life, like food or a place to live. A want is something that is nice, but not necessary, like a new toy, a fancy phone case, or eating at a restaurant. Sometimes it is okay to spend on wants, but not all the time. Knowing the difference helps people save more. Saving and spending are not opposites. They work together. Some money must be spent to live, and some money should be saved for later. If someone only saves and never spends, they may miss out on good experiences. If someone spends everything and never saves, they may face problems in the future. The key is balance. A good life includes both careful spending and smart saving. Talking about saving and spending in English helps learners share their goals, make plans, and understand others. They can say things like, "I'm saving for a new bike," or "I try not to spend too much on clothes." They can ask questions like, "How do you save money?" or "Do you have a budget?" These are real-life conversations that help people connect and learn from each other. Understanding the difference between saving and spending is more than just a money skill, it is a life skill. It teaches us to think ahead, to be responsible, and to make choices that help us reach our goals. When we learn the English words to talk about money, we also learn how to live better in the world. Problems with money when there isn't enough. Money helps people live. It helps them buy food, pay rent, get clothes, and take care of their families. But not everyone has enough money. Around the world, many people face money problems. These problems can make life hard. When people don't have enough money, they must make difficult choices. They must decide what to pay for and what to skip. Sometimes they must go without things they need. Understanding these problems and how people deal with them is important, both in life and in learning English. Money problems can happen for many reasons. Sometimes people lose their jobs. This means they stop working and no longer get paid. Without a job, it becomes very hard to pay for food, rent, or electricity. Other times, people work, but their salary is very low. Even if they work full-time, their money may not be enough. In some places, prices are high, but wages are low. This creates stress for workers and their families. Another reason for money problems is debt. Debt means someone has borrowed money and must pay it back. People borrow money for many reasons. They might need to buy a house, go to school, or pay for a hospital visit. Sometimes they use a credit card to buy things and promise to pay later. But if they cannot pay back the money on time, the debt grows. Over time, it becomes harder and harder to get out of debt. This can make people feel worried or trapped. Medical problems can also cause money troubles. If someone gets sick and needs medicine, a doctor, or a hospital, it can be very expensive, especially if they don't have health insurance. Some people must choose between buying medicine or buying food. Others delay going to the doctor because they can't afford it. Health and money are closely connected, and problems in one area often create problems in the other. Education costs are another challenge. In many places, going to school or university is not free. Students and families often borrow money to pay for classes, books, or housing. This can lead to large debts. Some people finish school with a good education, but still struggle to find a job. They must pay back what they borrowed, even if they are not earning much. Money problems don't just affect people's wallets. They affect their feelings too. Worrying about money can make people feel sad, tired, or angry. Some people feel embarrassed and don't want to talk about it. Others argue with family or friends about money issues. It can be hard to sleep or enjoy life when someone is always thinking about bills, rent, or work. Money stress is real, and it can change how people act and feel. So, what do people do when they don't have enough money? Different people try different things. Some people get a second job or work longer hours. Others try to spend less, maybe by cooking at home, walking instead of taking the bus, or buying only what is necessary. Some people ask for help from family or friends. They may also visit community centers, food banks, or charities. These places sometimes give food, clothes, or support to those in need. In some countries, the government helps people who don't have enough money. This help may be called welfare, benefits, or assistance. People may get money for food, housing, or healthcare. This can make life easier for those who are struggling, but sometimes the help is not enough or not easy to get. Some people don't know how to ask for help, or they feel ashamed to ask. Even in hard times, many people try to stay strong. They look for small ways to improve their situation. Some people take free classes to learn a new skill. Others start small businesses, like selling food, making clothes, or doing repairs. They use their time and talent to earn a little extra. Every small step can help build a better future. Learning how to talk about money problems in English can help too. People can ask questions like, "Do you know where I can find help?" Or "Is there a place to get free food or clothes?" They can also say things like, "I'm having trouble paying rent this month," or "I'm looking for extra work." These are useful sentences that open the door to support and advice. Money problems are real and difficult. They can affect anyone young or old, working or not, in any part of the world. But with the right words, knowledge, and support, people can face these problems and find new solutions. Talking about money problems in English is not just about language, it's about life. And learning how to talk about these things gives us strength, connection, and hope.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. Disturb or bother.
Trouble.
A period of time when the economy of a country is bad.
Recession.
Had a strong negative effect on me.
Hit me pretty hard.
The amount of money you owe to a person, bank, company, etc.
Debt.
Besides that, in addition to.
On top of all that.
Not have any money.
Broke.
Let's try that faster. The amount of money you owe to a person, bank, company, etc.
Debt.
Besides that, in addition to.
On top of all that.
Disturb or bother.
Trouble.
Not have any money.
Broke.
Disturb or bother.
Trouble.
Besides that, in addition to.
On top of all that.
Had a strong negative effect on me.
Hit me pretty hard.
A period of time when the economy of a country is bad.
Recession.
Not have any money.
Broke.
Had a strong negative effect on me.
Hit me pretty hard.
The amount of money you owe to a person, bank, company, etc.
Debt.
A period of time when the economy of a country is bad.
Recession.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Trouble. Can I trouble you for a moment? I just need you to sign this for me. Recession. The recession is causing many businesses to close down. Hit me pretty hard. My divorce hit me pretty hard. I'm so depressed. Debt. My uncle just bought a new house and now he's in a lot of debt. On top of all that, my car was stolen yesterday, and on top of all that, my house burned down. Broke. I spent all my money on a new TV, so now I'm broke. Recession. The recession is causing many businesses to close down. Hit me pretty hard. My divorce hit me pretty hard. I'm so depressed. On top of all that, my car was stolen yesterday, And on top of all that, my house burned down.
And today we're bringing you a great intermediate lesson with some really useful vocabulary.
Some vocabulary you can use to describe your job.
Yes, this is a really common situation when someone asks you what you do and you have to tell them.
Exactly. So today's lesson is all about that.
So before we jump into our dialogue, let's start with our vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
We have 2 simple phrases today that you'll hear in our dialogue for our vocabulary preview. The first one is VP.
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 So the VP of a company is?
The vice president.
The vice president, exactly.
Yep. Simple little acronym. And the next word is Fortune 500 company.
Fortune 500 company.
Fortune 500 company.
So a Fortune 500 company is?
I'll let you explain.
Well, Fortune magazine ranks the 500 biggest companies in the US.
So a Fortune 500 company basically is?
One of the 500 biggest companies in the US.
Okay, that's simple.
Yep.
All right, well, with those words, it sounds like we're going to be talking to some important people today.
Yes, we are going to be talking to some important people. So let's listen to our dialogue for the first time. Now, it's going to be a little bit fast, but you don't have to worry about it.
Because we'll come back and explain all of the important vocabulary.
Oh, look. There's Caroline and her boyfriend. She's always going on about him at the office. Great, they saw us. They're coming this way.
Oh, man.
Jessica, Arthur, hi. I'd like you to meet my boyfriend, Greg. He's the VP of Quality and Safety for a top Fortune 500 food company.
Nice to meet you. This is my husband, Arthur.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello?
Caroline talks about you all the time. I guess you must be pretty busy at work.
Well, yeah, VP position is not easy, you know. I implement policies and procedures nationwide in various departments, as well as train junior managers in FDA and EPA regulations. I also have to oversee daily operations of our quality control for the entire East Coast. That alone means I have 1,500 employees under me.
Wow, yeah, that sounds exciting.
And what about you, Arthur? What do you do for a living?
Oh, I'm a Top Gun pilot.
All right, great music for our dialogue again, huh?
Chosen by
moi.
Of course.
Yeah, Top Gun is one of my all-time favorite movies. And Top Gun pilot, what a cool profession.
An excellent profession. Much cooler than being like
A
the VP.
Yeah. How boring is that?
Yeah. Anyway, this guy was a bit of a jerk, don't you think?
Yeah, you can tell a little bit of the sarcastic tone he had in his voice.
Definitely. But he did use some interesting phrases, and we can talk about those now.
Right, so let's take a look at language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Our first word for language takeaways is implement.
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 Let's listen to some examples of this word to help us understand its meaning.
Example 1.
Our company has to implement this sales strategy.
Example 2.
Sarah will be responsible for implementing the plan.
Example 3.
I implemented several new policies.
Okay, great examples. And just in case, to implement means to
Put into action.
put into action. Great.
Exactly.
Our second word for language takeaway, policies.
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 So policies are basically rules and regulations
Exactly. Formal rules.
for a company or an organization.
Exactly.
Policies. Great.
Third word,
Oversee.
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 So when you oversee operations, it means
Like you watch it to make sure it's okay.
you supervise it.
This is an excellent word to use when you want to talk about your job responsibilities.
Right.
Oversee.
Great. And our last word for language takeaway, it's kind of tricky, so let's listen to how it was used in our dialogue.
That alone means I have 1,500 employees under me. That alone means I have 1,500 employees under me.
So this guy has 1,500 employees under him, meaning he supervises 1,500 employees.
Right, he manages 1,500 employees.
He must be a busy man.
Yes, for 1,500 employees. How many employees do you have under you, Erica?
2.
Yeah, not quite as much as 1,500.
Yeah, I guess I'm not a VP right yet, hey?
Not yet, but you will.
Okay.
All right, so with this in mind, we are ready to listen to our dialogue for a second time, and this time it's going to be slower.
Oh, look. There's Caroline and her boyfriend. She's always going on about him at the office. Oh, great, they saw us. They're coming this way.
Oh, man.
Jessica! Arthur! Hi! I'd like you to meet my boyfriend, Greg. He's the VP of Quality and Safety for a top Fortune 500 food company.
Nice to meet you. This is my husband, Arthur.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello?
Caroline talks about you all the time. I guess you must be pretty busy at work.
Well, yeah. A VP position is not easy, you know. I implement policies and procedures nationwide of various departments, as well as train junior managers in FDA and EPA regulations. I also have to oversee daily operations of our quality control for the entire East Coast. That alone means I have 1,500 employees under me.
Wow, yeah, that sounds exciting.
And what about you, Arthur? What do you do for a living?
Oh, I'm a Top Gun pilot.
Okay, great stuff. With this, now we can start with our fluency builder for today.
Fluency builder.
We heard some excellent phrases in this dialogue, some phrases that sound really natural, hey?
Yes, especially the first one that we have today is whenever someone talks and talks and talks and continuously talks without stopping, you would say,
She's always going on about him at the office. She's always going on about him at the office.
This is a really natural way of saying keeps talking about.
right, keeps talking about him.
Yep. So we have a few examples of how this phrase works. Let's listen.
Example 1.
My boss is always going on about how we need to save money. It's all he talks about.
Example 2.
Gary is always going on about his kids. He's always talking about how smart they are.
Example 3.
My mom is always going on about how I should get married.
Okay, excellent. It's clear now.
Yes.
Okay, so let's move on to our second phrase for today. And this is a great one to use whenever you meet someone for the first time.
Or when you start to talk to someone for the first time.
Great.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going?
So this is a really relaxed and natural way of saying, how are you?
How are you?
Yeah.
So yeah, you can just say, hey, how's it going?
Yep.
Great.
Really natural sounding.
Now, our third phrase is the most important one of our dialogue,
Yes.
and it's a really common situation.
When someone asks you about your job, they might say this.
Arthur, what do you do for a living? Arthur, what do you do for a living?
So this is a really great way of asking what work do you do or what is your job?
Yes. I know a lot of students sometimes say, what is your job?
Yeah, and that is, it's kind of correct, but not really.
It doesn't sound very natural.
Right.
So you want to use what do you do or
What do you do for a living?
Sounds great.
That's the way you ask someone what is their job.
And that's how you sound supernatural.
Okay, so we're ready now to listen to our dialogue a last time. And now you are ready to understand everything.
Oh, look. There's Caroline and her boyfriend. She's always going on about him at the office. Great, they saw us. They're coming this way.
Oh, man.
Jessica, Arthur, hi. I'd like you to meet my boyfriend, Greg. He's the VP of Quality and Safety for a top Fortune 500 food company.
Nice to meet you. This is my husband, Arthur.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello?
Caroline talks about you all the time. I guess you must be pretty busy at work.
Well, yeah, VP position is not easy, you know. I implement policies and procedures nationwide, various departments, as well as train junior managers in FDA and EPA regulations. I also have to oversee daily operations of our quality control for the entire East Coast. That alone means I have 1,500 employees under me.
Wow, yeah, that sounds exciting.
And what about you, Arthur? What do you do for a living?
Oh, I'm a Top Gun pilot.
Okay, so I have a little challenge for our listeners today.
What is it?
2 challenges, actually.
Okay.
The first one, who performs the song that you heard, and what is the song called?
Okay, I don't know the answer, so I'm looking forward to seeing what users do.
And the second one is, what is the number 1 company in the Fortune 500?
Oh, I also don't know this answer.
2 great questions, so I expect to see your answers on the comments page, but also we want to know about your profession.
Yes, tell us about your job. Tell us what you do, and use some of the great phrases you learned today to describe your answer.
Great.
Talking about jobs. When people meet for the first time, they often ask about jobs. Talking about jobs is a common topic in conversations. People may ask what you do, where you work, or if you like your job. When you talk about your job, you can say the name of your job and give a little more information. For example, you can say, I am a teacher. I work at a school, or I am a doctor. I help sick people. If you do not have a job, you can say, I am looking for a job, or I am a student. Some people work part-time, and others work full-time. You can also talk about jobs you want in the future. You might say, I want to be a nurse, or I want to work in an office. When you ask someone about their job, you can say, what do you do? Or where do you work? You can also ask, do you like your job? This helps you learn more about their work and life. Talking about jobs is a good way to practice English and learn about different people. Different types of jobs. There are many different types of jobs in the world. Some people work in offices, while others work outside. Some jobs are quiet and calm, while others are busy and fast. Each job is important, and people do many different things to help others and earn money. Some jobs are in the service industry. These jobs help people with their daily needs. For example, a cashier works in a store and helps customers buy things. A waiter or waitress works in a restaurant and serves food. A hairdresser cuts and styles people's hair. These jobs often require talking to many people and being friendly. People who work in these jobs usually stand or move around a lot during the day. Other jobs are in healthcare. These jobs help people stay healthy or get better when they are sick. Doctors examine patients and give medicine. Nurses take care of patients and help them feel comfortable. Pharmacists give medicine to people and explain how to use it. Healthcare jobs are very important because they help people feel better and live healthy lives. People in these jobs often work long hours, but their work helps the community. There are also jobs in education. Teachers work at schools and help students learn new things. They teach subjects like math, science, and English. Some teachers work with young children, and others teach teenagers or adults. Librarians work in libraries and help people find books and information. Education jobs are important because they help people grow and learn. People who work in these jobs need to be patient, kind, and good at explaining things. Some people work in transportation. Drivers move people and goods from one place to another. Bus drivers take people to work, school, and other places. Delivery drivers bring packages to homes and businesses. Pilots fly airplanes to different cities and countries. People who work in transportation need to be careful, follow rules, and help people travel safely. Many people work in offices. Office workers do many different tasks, such as answering phones, writing emails, and organizing documents. Some people work in customer service and help customers with questions or problems. Others work with computers and manage information. Office jobs are often quiet, and people usually sit at a desk. People who work in offices need to be organized and able to work with others. There are also jobs in construction. Construction workers build houses, roads, and other buildings. They use tools to measure, cut, and put things together. Electricians work with wires and make sure buildings have power. Plumbers fix pipes for water and gas. Construction jobs are physical, and workers often work outside in all kinds of weather. These jobs are important because they create the places where people live and work. Some jobs are in entertainment. Actors perform in movies, television shows, or plays. Musicians play instruments and sing. Athletes play sports and entertain fans. People who work in entertainment often practice for many hours to be good at what they do. Their work brings joy to others and helps people relax and have fun. Farming is another important job. Farmers grow food like fruits, vegetables, and grains. Some farmers take care of animals like cows, chickens, and sheep. Farming jobs are hard work because farmers wake up early and work outside. Their work is important because it provides food for everyone. Many people also work in technology. Computer programmers write code and create software. IT support workers help people when they have problems with their computers. Technology jobs are growing fast because many people use computers and the internet every day. People in these jobs often work with machines and need to solve problems. Each job is special, and every job helps society in some way. People choose their jobs for different reasons. Some people want to help others, while others want to work with their hands. Some people want a job that is quiet, while others like a busy, active job. No matter the job, every worker is important in making the world a better place. Finding and getting a job. Finding and getting a job is an important step in life. People look for jobs for many reasons. Some people want to earn money to support themselves or their families. Others want to follow their interests and do work they enjoy. Some people want to learn new skills, and others want to help their community. No matter the reason, finding a job takes time, effort, and preparation. The first step to finding a job is knowing what kind of work you want to do. Some people want to work with their hands, while others want to work with computers. Some people like working with other people, while others prefer working alone. It is helpful to think about your skills and interests. For example, if you like helping people, you might enjoy working as a nurse, teacher, or customer service worker. If you enjoy building things, you might like working in construction or as a mechanic. Once you know what kind of job you want, you need to find job opportunities. Many people look for jobs online. There are websites where companies post job openings. You can search by job type, location, and experience level. Some people find jobs through friends or family. This is called networking. If you know someone who works at a company, they might tell you about a job. Another way to find a job is to visit businesses and ask if they are hiring. This works well for jobs in stores, restaurants, and small businesses. When you find a job you want, the next step is to apply for it. Many jobs ask for a resume. A resume is a document that shows your work experience, skills, and education. It is important to make your resume clear and easy to read. You should include your contact information so the employer can reach you. Some jobs also ask for a cover letter. A cover letter is a short letter where you explain why you want the job and why you are a good fit. It is a chance to show your personality and interest in the job. After you apply for a job, you may be invited to an interview. An interview is a meeting where you talk to the employer. They will ask you questions to learn more about you. Common questions include, why do you want this job? And what are your strengths? It is important to be polite and honest during an interview. You should also dress neatly and arrive on time. Employers want to hire people who are responsible and respectful. During the interview, you can also ask questions about the job. You might want to know about the work schedule, the team you will work with, or the tasks you will do. Asking questions shows that you are interested and serious about the job. If the interview goes well, the employer may offer you the job. Sometimes they will call or email you later with a decision. If you get the job, you may need to sign a contract. A contract is an agreement between you and the employer. It explains your job duties, work hours, and salary. You should read the contract carefully and ask questions if you do not understand something. Starting a new job can be exciting and challenging. On your first day, it is important to listen carefully and follow instructions. You may meet new coworkers and learn how to do your tasks. It is normal to feel nervous, but with time, you will feel more comfortable. Being on time, working hard, and being kind to others will help you succeed. Sometimes people do not get the job they want. This can feel disappointing, but it is normal. You can learn from the experience and try again. It is helpful to ask for feedback if possible. Feedback can help you improve your resume, interview skills, or work experience. The more you try, the better you will become at finding and getting a job. Many people change jobs during their lives. Some people want a better salary, while others want new challenges. Learning new skills can help you find better jobs. You can take classes, read books, or learn from others at work. Being open to learning and growing can lead to more job opportunities in the future. Finding and getting a job is a process. It takes time, patience, and hard work. Each step from deciding what you want to do, to applying, interviewing, and starting a new job is important. With effort and a positive attitude, you can find a job that fits your skills and goals. Success and growth in a job. Getting a job is an important achievement, but succeeding and growing in a job is also very important. Success at work means doing your job well, improving your skills, and building good relationships with others. It takes time, effort, and a positive attitude to grow in any job. People who work hard and continue learning often have better career opportunities and feel more satisfied with their work. One of the most important parts of being successful in a job is doing your work carefully and on time. Employers appreciate workers who complete tasks correctly and meet deadlines. It is important to follow instructions and ask questions if you do not understand something. Being organized helps you manage your time well. You can make a to-do list to keep track of your work. This helps you stay focused and complete tasks in the right order. When you do your work well, your employer will trust you with more responsibilities. Good communication is also important for success in a job. In most jobs, you need to talk with your coworkers, managers, or customers. It is important to listen carefully and speak clearly. When you listen, you understand instructions better and avoid mistakes. Speaking clearly helps you share your ideas and ask for help when needed. Writing emails and messages in a polite and professional way is also a key skill. Good communication makes the workplace more friendly and helps everyone work together smoothly. Being reliable is another important quality for success. Reliable workers come to work on time and finish their tasks without being reminded. If you promise to do something, it is important to do it. If you cannot finish on time, you should tell your manager and ask for help if needed. Employers value people who are dependable because it helps the business run smoothly. Having a positive attitude can also help you succeed at work. Every job has easy and difficult parts. It is normal to face challenges or make mistakes, but staying positive helps you keep going. When problems arise, try to find solutions instead of giving up. People with a positive attitude are easier to work with, and this helps create a better work environment. Employers often notice workers who are friendly, helpful, and willing to learn new things. Another way to grow in your job is by learning new skills. Many jobs change over time, and learning new skills helps you keep up. You can ask your manager if there are new tasks you can try. You can also take classes, attend workshops, or study on your own. For example, learning how to use new computer programs can help you work faster. If you work in customer service, learning better communication skills can help you handle customer questions and problems more easily. When you learn new skills, you become more valuable to your employer. Building good relationships at work is also important. Being kind and respectful to your coworkers helps create a positive workplace. You should listen to others' ideas and offer help when needed. When you work well with others, teamwork becomes easier. It is also helpful to respect your manager and follow their instructions. Good relationships can lead to new opportunities, such as promotions or better tasks. Receiving feedback is another important part of growing in your job. Feedback is advice or comments about your work. Sometimes feedback is positive, and sometimes it includes areas where you can improve. It is important to listen to feedback with an open mind. If your manager suggests changes, try to follow their advice. This shows that you want to improve and do your best. If you are not sure how to improve, you can ask for help or examples. As you gain experience, you may have opportunities to move to higher positions. Promotions are chances to take on new responsibilities and earn more money. To be ready for a promotion, show that you can handle your current job well and are willing to learn more. You can also let your manager know if you are interested in new opportunities. People who are hardworking, reliable, and skilled often receive promotions. Work-life balance is also important for long-term success. This means managing your job and personal life in a healthy way. It is important to work hard, but rest is also necessary. Taking breaks during the day helps you stay focused. Spending time with family and friends outside of work helps you feel happy and refreshed. When you balance work and personal time, you can do your job better and avoid burnout. Sometimes people decide to change jobs to continue growing. They may want a higher salary, new experiences, or better working conditions. If you want to change jobs, it is important to plan carefully. You can update your resume, practice interview skills, and look for new opportunities. Changing jobs can be a big step, but it can also help you grow and find work that fits your goals. Success and growth in a job take time and effort. Doing your work well, being reliable, learning new skills, and building good relationships are all important. A positive attitude and a willingness to improve can lead to better opportunities. Whether you stay in the same job or move to a new one, these habits will help you succeed and grow throughout your career.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Talk about something a lot.
Go on about.
Top 500 companies rated by revenue.
Fortune 500.
Begin to do something. Put into action.
Implement.
Have the duty or job of taking care of something.
Responsible.
In the whole country.
Nationwide.
Take care of.
Look after.
Watch and direct to make sure a job is done correctly.
Oversee.
Checking goods to make sure that they are good enough to sell.
Quality control.
Working for me.
Under me. Develop relationships.
Look after or take care of complaints.
Handle complaints.
Make arrangements or plans with a group of people.
Coordinate.
Watch and check.
Monitor.
Be in charge of something. Watch and direct.
Supervise.
Make sure.
Ensure. Let's try that faster.
In the whole country.
Nationwide.
Make arrangements or plans with a group of people.
Coordinate.
Watch and direct to make sure a job is done correctly.
Oversee.
Top 500 companies rated by revenue.
Fortune 500.
Take care of.
Look after.
Working for me.
Under me.
Checking goods to make sure that they are good enough to sell.
Quality control.
Be in charge of something. Watch and direct.
Supervise.
Watch and check.
Monitor.
Have the duty or job of taking care of something.
Responsible.
Make sure.
Ensure.
Begin to do something. Put into action.
Implement. Develop relationships.
Look after or take care of complaints.
Handle complaints.
Talk about something a lot.
Go on about. Now say the word and hear it in a sentence. Go on about. My boss is always going on about how we need to save money. It's all he talks about. Go on about. Gary is always going on about his kids. He's always talking about how smart they are. Go on about. My mum is always going on about how I should get married. Implement. Our company has to implement this sales strategy. Implement. Sarah will be responsible for implementing the plan. Implement. I implemented several new policies. According to company regulations, we have to fly economy class. You need to make sure that you follow the rules and regulations. Government regulations do not allow us to import raw meat. Oversee. In my last job, I oversaw recruitment. Oversee. Jason, can you oversee this project? Oversee. I'm overseeing the budget in my department. Nationwide. Nationwide, we have 500 stores. Nationwide. The government will be starting nationwide testing of grade 4 students. Nationwide. There is a nationwide shortage of doctors. Under me. In your new job, you'll have 18 employees under you. Under me. I don't have any employees under me. Under me. Frank has 12 managers working under him. Quality control. Our quality control measures help make sure that there are no mistakes in our product. Quality control. I am responsible for quality control in our factory. Quality control. We have poor quality control, and so there are a lot of problems with our product.
So, Marco, what are we talking about today?
Today we're going to be talking about a popular topic all over the world, and that is smoking.
Well, not so popular in the States right now, to be honest.
Well, that's the thing. In every country in the world now, they are becoming more strict on smoking and where you can smoke, so it's becoming very difficult for smokers nowadays.
Well, it's a good reason to want to quit.
And that's what we're going to be talking about today is quitting smoking.
Well, before we get going, we do have a really important phrase that we should preview in today's vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
All right, so on vocabulary preview, we're going to take a look at this word, pack of smokes.
Pack of smokes.
A pack of smokes.
So smokes is a word for cigarettes. It's the same thing, smokes or cigarettes.
Right, but a pack is, like 20 cigarettes.
It's a box of cigarettes. You buy them in a pack. You don't just buy one at a time. So, again, the phrase is pack of smokes.
Pack of smokes. So why don't we listen to our dialogue for the first time and see what's going on with this smoker.
It smells like an ashtray in here.
Hi, honey. What's wrong? Why do you have that look on your face?
What's wrong? I thought we agreed you were going to quit smoking.
No. I said I was going to cut down, which is very different. You can't just expect me to go cold turkey overnight.
Look, there are other ways to quit. You can try the nicotine patch or nicotine chewing gum. We spend a fortune on cigarettes every month. And now laws are cracking down and not allowing smoking in any public place. It's not like you can just light up like before.
I know. I really am trying, but I don't have the willpower to just quit. I can't fight with the urge to reach for my pack of smokes in the morning with coffee or after lunch. Please understand.
Fine, I want a divorce.
Sorry, I just smoked a pack of cigarettes.
You do smoke, don't you?
Well, we'll talk about that later.
All right, so it is a little bit extreme, though. I mean, he's divorcing her because she won't quit.
Well, some people really are health conscious and are afraid of the negative side of smoking, which has a lot of health side effects.
Yeah. Well, as he was complaining about all the negative effects and the negative aspects of smoking, he did mention, both of them mentioned a lot of great words and phrases, so why don't we take a look at them now in Language Takeaway?
Language takeaway.
Well, this first word is a word that's very important for any smoker who goes to a bar or a restaurant and needs to put the ash somewhere, right? So when you smoke, there's some ash, there's some messy, dirty stuff, and you need an ashtray to collect it.
An ashtray.
So an ashtray is something that's usually round or square, and you put it on a table, and it's just very helpful to keep the house clean or restaurant clean. So if you're in a restaurant, you say, hey, can I have an ashtray, please?
So the residue or the stuff that when you're smoking, it comes out the gray, I don't know, like dust. It's called ash.
Right. And this is a tray. But the complaint here is, it smells like an ashtray in here. That means it smells really, really bad in here.
Yeah, it smells like cigarettes.
Yeah, so that word again is ashtray.
Ashtray. All right. Well, and the guy was complaining and he said, well, I thought you were going to quit smoking. And she said, no. I said I was going to cut down.
She says it's very different from quitting smoking. So, Marco, maybe we should talk about how cutting down and quitting are different.
All right. So if I say I'm going to cut down on smoking, it's just I'm going to smoke less.
Okay, so let's take an example. I smoke 10 cigarettes a day, but I want to cut down. How many should I smoke later? Maybe
like 2 or 3.
2 or 3?
Instead of quitting, so if you quit smoking, that would mean 0.
0 cigarettes. No smoking anymore.
Right.
All right. So you can also cut down on carbs, like carbohydrates. So some people who cut down on carbs eat less bread. They don't eat any pasta. So these are really good ways of trying to talk about dieting as well as smoking.
Right. And I think we have a couple of examples of other ways we can use this phrase cut down. So let's listen to them now.
Example 1.
Our company has decided to cut down our workload, so from now on, we leave at 3 p.m. every Friday.
Example 2.
You should really cut down on the amount of salt you eat. It's not good for you.
Example 3.
My doctor told me I need to cut down on fatty foods because of my heart condition.
And when you want to smoke a cigarette, you have to do something first with some fire. So we call this lighting up.
To light up.
So lighting up, it doesn't mean turning on the light.
No.
It actually means using a lighter or some fire to start your cigarette.
Right, so you want to light up with a lighter, matches, or some sort of fire.
The husband says, it's not like you can just light up like before. That means it's not like you can just smoke like before. So
Right.
in some cases, light up means to smoke a cigarette. We're in a movie theater and someone lights a cigarette. And I say, you can't light up in here.
Right, so you can't smoke in here.
You can't smoke in
It's
here.
another way of saying smoking. Very good. And she was explaining, how difficult it is, and she's trying to quit, but she said, I don't have the willpower to just quit.
Ooh, willpower. So this is an important word.
Willpower.
Willpower. You think of the main part of this word as will. That means the desire to do something. You want to do something.
So if I have willpower, or I have strong willpower, what am I saying?
You're saying that you can make a decision and you can follow your decision. So I decide not to eat cake. I have very strong willpower, so I never eat cake. If I don't have strong willpower, maybe I sometimes
cake.
secretly eat cake in the middle of the night from my refrigerator.
So that happens, right? Sometimes you don't have strong enough willpower, so you kind of eat a little bit of cake.
Yeah, so-
Nobody's watching.
Exactly. And you can have willpower about lots of different things. So this is a great word, again, to use when you're talking about dieting or smoking or drinking.
Any type of maybe temptation.
Exactly.
All right. And well, she said she had this urge to reach for her pack of smokes.
Ooh, urge is another good one. And it's very similar to willpower, but an urge is kind of like a physical feeling that makes you want to do something.
So you have like this strong desire.
So I have the urge to go swimming today. I don't know why, but I really want to.
All right. You have an urge. Interesting word.
Pregnant women often have these kinds of things too. I have the urge to do something. We also call them cravings.
Oh, cravings or urge to do something. All right, interesting. So we've taken a look at these 5 great words, and I think we should listen to our dialogue again. We're going to slow it down just a little bit, and then we'll come back and talk some more.
It smells like an ashtray in here.
Hi, honey. What's wrong? Why do you have that look on your face?
What's wrong? I thought we agreed that you were going to quit smoking.
No. I said I was going to cut down, which is very different. You can't just expect me to go cold turkey overnight.
Look, there are other ways to quit. You can try the nicotine patch or nicotine chewing gum. We spend a fortune on cigarettes every month, and now laws are cracking down and not allowing smoking in any public place. It's not like you can just light up like before.
I know. I really am trying, but I don't have the willpower to just quit. I can't fight with the urge to reach for my pack of smokes in the morning with coffee or after lunch. Please understand.
Fine. I want a divorce.
And we are back. So we have a great part of our show where we like to talk about some phrases that help you attain fluency. That means sounding like a native speaker of English. And today's phrases are wonderful.
All right, so let's take a look at them now in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
So on Fluency Builder today, let's take a look at two different phrases, and let's start with the first one. She mentioned something about going cold turkey overnight. What is that phrase, cold turkey?
Now, this is a very strange phrase, okay? So, first of all, why would a turkey be cold? They have lots of feathers. And second of all, what does it have to do with cigarettes?
Right, so if I say I'm going cold turkey, what is that?
So just take this as a phrase. Don't think about the actual words because they won't make sense in this context. What we're talking about is quitting smoking entirely. You're not going to cut down. It means today, I'm not going to smoke at all, and I'm never going to smoke again. That means never ever will I smoke another cigarette. So it's cold turkey.
So if I go cold turkey, means I stop doing something immediately and suddenly and forever.
Entirely.
All right.
So you can use this phrase for different habits, different things that you do, like drinking, for example, or cutting down on sugar. But generally, we just say this about cigarettes.
So it's mostly related to smoking.
Yeah, so
going cold turkey.
Some people like to smoke less, like one cigarette a day or one cigarette a week. But going cold turkey is supposed to be the hardest.
Right. Okay. Going cold turkey. All right. And well, he was explaining the different negative aspects of smoking. He said, well, they spend a fortune on cigarettes every month. And he said, laws are cracking down. So if the laws are cracking down, what is he trying to say there?
Well, this is actually a very interesting point because in America right now, it's very hard to smoke in public places. So this means that the government is trying to stop people from smoking. So they say, no more smoking in public places, no more smoking in restaurants, no more smoking in bars. And so this means they're cracking down. They're making it harder to do something.
So they are becoming more strict. I think for this phrase, we should listen to a couple of more examples just to make sure we understand it.
Example 1.
The police are cracking down on drunk driving in our city.
Example 2.
Our school has really started to crack down on tardiness.
Example 3.
The president has passed a law that will crack down on possession of illegal substances.
All right, so the government is cracking down. Laws are cracking down.
Yeah, exactly. So this is an important one because you read this in the newspapers as well about certain laws and police action.
All right, great. So I think it's time for us to listen to this dialogue for one last time, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about this vice.
It smells like an ashtray in here.
Hi, honey. What's wrong? Why do you have that look on your face?
What's wrong? I thought we agreed you were going to quit smoking.
No. I said I was going to cut down, which is very different. You can't just expect me to go cold turkey overnight.
Look, there are other ways to quit. You can try the nicotine patch or nicotine chewing gum. We spend a fortune on cigarettes every month, and now laws are cracking down and not allowing smoking in any public place. It's not like you can just light up like before.
I know. I really am trying, but I don't have the willpower to just quit. I can't fight with the urge to reach for my pack of smokes in the morning with coffee or after lunch. Please understand.
Fine, I want a divorce.
So, do you have a problem with this vice, as you call it? Are you a smoker?
I'm really not. I'm the type of person that could maybe smoke socially, like if we go out to a bar with drinks, a social smoker like they call it, right?
Yeah. I'm jealous.
But not really. You're a habitual smoker, right?
Right. Well, I was. I'm trying to cut down. So as a habitual smoker, I often smoked every day. Sometimes I smoked a lot, and sometimes I smoke less. But right now I'm in a period where I'm mostly quit.
Okay, almost.
Yeah, well, I haven't smoked in a while, and when I do, it's just one cigarette.
Now, it is interesting because, like we mentioned, laws are cracking down on where you can smoke, but also taxes and cigarettes are becoming much more expensive, right?
Absolutely, especially where I'm from in Chicago. It's easy to spend maybe $10 or $12 on one pack of cigarettes.
On a pack of cigarettes. Imagine that.
Yeah.
So, and you have people that can't help smoking 1 or 2 packs a day.
Yeah.
So how much is that a month? It's just an amazing amount of money.
Thousands of dollars. Well, and I have to say, though, a lot of my friends who used to smoke in America have quit. So this is maybe working.
The whole thing of making cigarettes more
Taxing.
expensive.
Yeah, making them much more expensive.
Now, another interesting thing, and what I was reading recently, is that, you know, those warnings that come on cigarette packs
Yeah.
that says, you know, smoking kills, smoking causes cancer. Actually, a study has proven that it's not effective, that people don't mind it or even worry about the cautions on the cigarette packages.
Well, as a smoker, I could say that, yeah, you generally, if you're going to smoke a cigarette, don't look at the label that much. You just, you throw it in your bag and you forget about it.
But it's actually gotten to the point where people choose the cigarette pack based on the picture. So it's like, oh yeah, give me the one with the black lungs, or give me that one. You know?
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's interesting. So it's not really working. I guess we're going to have to find other ways to make people more conscious about this vice.
We should.
But come to our website at englishpod.com. Tell us what you think about this vice, smoking. Is it good? Is it bad? Are you a habitual smoker or just a social smoker?
What is smoking? Smoking is a habit that many people have. Some people smoke every day, while others smoke only sometimes. There are also people who try smoking once and never do it again. But what exactly is smoking? How does it work? What happens when someone smokes? In this part, we will discuss smoking in detail. Smoking has been around for hundreds of years. In the past, people smoked tobacco in pipes and cigars. Today, most people smoke cigarettes. Some people also use electronic cigarettes, which are called e-cigarettes or vapes. These are different from normal cigarettes, but they still contain nicotine. What is smoking? Smoking means burning a substance and inhaling the smoke into the lungs. The most common substance that people smoke is tobacco. Tobacco comes from a plant, and it is dried and rolled into cigarettes. When a person lights a cigarette, the tobacco burns and they breathe in the smoke. When people smoke, they take in many chemicals. Some of these chemicals can be very harmful to the body. Smoking does not only affect the person who smokes, it can also affect the people around them. The smoke from a cigarette spreads in the air, and other people may breathe it in. This is called passive smoking or secondhand smoking. How do people smoke? There are different ways that people smoke. The most common way is by using cigarettes. A cigarette is a small roll of tobacco wrapped in paper. A person lights one end and breathes in the smoke. Some people also use cigars. A cigar is bigger and thicker than a cigarette. It has more tobacco and produces more smoke. Some people believe cigars are more expensive and special, so they smoke them on special occasions. Another way of smoking is using a pipe. In the past, many people used pipes to smoke tobacco. The tobacco is put inside the bowl of the pipe, and the person inhales the smoke through a long tube. Today, pipes are less common, but some people still use them. Some people also use hookahs or shishas. A hookah is a water pipe that is used for smoking flavored tobacco. It is popular in some cultures, and people often smoke it in groups. However, smoking a hookah can be just as harmful as smoking cigarettes. In recent years, electronic cigarettes, e-cigarettes, or vapes have become more popular. These devices do not burn tobacco. Instead, they heat a liquid that turns into vapor. People inhale the vapor in the same way they inhale cigarette smoke. Many people think vaping is safer than smoking, but it still contains nicotine and other chemicals. What happens when a person smokes? When a person smokes a cigarette, the smoke goes into their lungs. From the lungs, the chemicals in the smoke enter the bloodstream. This means the chemicals travel through the whole body. Nicotine, the addictive substance in tobacco, affects the brain. It makes the person feel calm or happy for a short time. However, this feeling does not last long. After some time, the person wants to smoke again. This is why smoking is addictive. The more a person smokes, the more their body gets used to nicotine. If they try to stop smoking, they may feel uncomfortable or stressed. This is called nicotine withdrawal. Many people find it very difficult to quit smoking because of this. Does smoking only affect the smoker? Many people think that smoking only affects the person who smokes. But this is not true. Smoking can also harm the people around the smoker. When a person smokes, the smoke spreads in the air. If another person breathes this smoke, it can harm their health too. This is called secondhand smoking or passive smoking. Secondhand smoke can be especially dangerous for children, pregnant women, and older people. Even if a person does not smoke, breathing in smoke from others can still cause serious health problems. Why do people start smoking? Smoking is a habit that millions of people around the world develop at some point in their lives. Some people start smoking when they are young, while others begin later in life. Even though people know that smoking is harmful, many still choose to start. It is interesting to understand what leads people to take that first cigarette and why they continue. There are many different influences that encourage people to smoke. Sometimes it happens because of the environment they live in, the people they spend time with, or the situations they face. The first time a person smokes is often not because they truly want to, but because of a moment, a situation, or a feeling that pushes them to try it. One of the most common reasons a person smokes for the first time is exposure. If someone grows up in a house where family members smoke, they might see it as a normal activity. They watch their parents, older siblings, or relatives lighting cigarettes every day, and after a while, it does not seem strange or bad. It becomes something usual, like drinking tea or having a meal. When they get older, they might feel that smoking is just another part of life, and they do not question it. Sometimes, friends play a big role in influencing a person to smoke. If a person is in a group where most people smoke, they might feel pressure to join in. No one wants to feel left out or different, so they pick up a cigarette to fit in. They may not even like the taste or feeling of smoking at first, but they continue because it helps them feel included. Over time, what started as an occasional activity becomes a habit, and eventually an addiction. Media and advertisements have also played a role in encouraging people to smoke. In the past, movies, TV shows, and magazines often showed famous actors, musicians, or models smoking. These people looked stylish, confident, and successful. Many young people believed that smoking was a sign of maturity and independence. When they saw their favorite celebrity smoking, they thought it made them look strong and interesting. Even today, although smoking advertisements are banned in many countries, people still see characters in films smoking, making it seem exciting or attractive. Another reason people start smoking is the belief that it helps with stress. Life can be difficult, and everyone faces problems. Some people go through hard times at work, at school, or in their personal lives. When they see others smoking to relax, they think it might help them too. After smoking, they may feel calm for a short time, but this feeling does not last. In reality, smoking does not remove stress. It only creates a cycle where the person feels they need to smoke more to feel better. Curiosity also leads many people to try smoking. Sometimes, a person simply wonders what it feels like to smoke. They see other people doing it and start to think, what does it taste like? How does it make people feel? This curiosity can be strong enough to make them take a cigarette and try it, just once. However, for many, that one cigarette turns into another, and soon, they find themselves smoking regularly. Some people start smoking because they believe it will help them lose weight. There's a common belief that smoking reduces hunger, making people eat less. For some, this seems like an easy way to stay slim. They think that instead of eating snacks, they can just smoke a cigarette. While it may be true that nicotine affects appetite, this is not a healthy way to control weight. Smoking damages the body in many ways and can cause serious health problems. In some cultures and societies, smoking is connected to traditions and social events. In certain places, people smoke when they meet friends, when they celebrate, or even when they discuss important topics. Some communities see smoking as a symbol of respect or hospitality. If a person grows up in such an environment, they may feel that smoking is just a natural part of life. They might not even think about whether it is good or bad. They simply accept it as something normal. There are also people who start smoking because they believe it helps them concentrate. Some students and professionals think that smoking makes them more focused, especially when they're studying or working on something important. They might see older students or colleagues smoking during breaks and assume that it improves their ability to think clearly. This belief makes them try smoking, hoping it will give them the same benefits. In some cases, people smoke because they want to rebel. They want to feel independent or break the rules set by parents, teachers, or society. Teenagers, in particular, often feel the need to prove that they can make their own choices. If smoking is seen as something forbidden, it becomes even more tempting. They light a cigarette to show that they are in control of their lives. What starts as an act of rebellion can quickly become a habit that is hard to break. Many people do not think about the long-term effects of smoking when they start. They assume that they can stop anytime they want. They believe that smoking a few cigarettes will not cause harm. However, over time, their body gets used to nicotine and quitting becomes difficult. What began as an occasional activity turns into a daily routine. Before they realize it, they are addicted. One important thing to understand is that smoking does not bring any real benefit. The things that make people start fitting in, curiosity, stress relief, or rebellion are only temporary feelings. The risks and dangers of smoking, however, are very real and long-lasting. Once a person starts smoking, it can be very difficult to stop. The effects of smoking. Smoking is not just a simple habit. It is something that affects the body, mind, and even the people around the smoker. When a person smokes, they might not notice the effects immediately. At first, smoking may feel like a small activity that helps them relax or fit in with friends. However, over time, smoking starts to change many things in life. It affects health, relationships, daily activities, and even the environment. The effects of smoking can be divided into different areas. The most serious impact is on health. Every time a person smokes, harmful chemicals enter their body. These chemicals affect different parts of the body in different ways. The lungs, heart, and even the skin start to change. Breathing becomes more difficult, and the body becomes weaker. Many smokers experience coughing, shortness of breath, and tiredness. These are just the early signs. As time goes on, more serious health problems can develop. The lungs are one of the first organs to be affected. A healthy person breathes easily, and their lungs work smoothly. But smoking damages the lungs, making it harder to breathe. Smokers often feel like they are out of breath after simple activities like walking or climbing stairs. They also cough more because their lungs try to clear out the harmful substances from cigarettes. Over time, these problems can turn into serious diseases. The heart is another organ that suffers because of smoking. A strong heart is necessary for a healthy life, but smoking weakens it. The chemicals in cigarettes make the heart work harder, increasing the risk of heart disease. Smokers are more likely to have high blood pressure, heart attacks, and other heart problems. Even young smokers can develop heart-related issues if they continue smoking for a long time. Smoking also affects the skin. Many people do not realize this, but cigarettes can change how a person looks. Smokers often develop wrinkles earlier than non-smokers. Their skin becomes dull, dry, and loses its natural glow. This is because smoking reduces the amount of oxygen that reaches the skin. As a result, smokers may look older than they really are. Another serious effect of smoking is on the immune system. The immune system is responsible for protecting the body from illness. A strong immune system fights infections and helps the body heal quickly. However, smoking weakens this defense. Smokers get sick more often and take longer to recover from common illnesses like colds and flu. Wounds and cuts also heal more slowly because smoking reduces blood flow. The negative effects of smoking do not stop with the person who smokes. People around smokers are also affected, even if they do not smoke themselves. This is called second-hand smoke. When a person smokes, the smoke spreads into the air. Family members, friends, and even strangers nearby breathe in this smoke, which can harm their health. Babies, children, and elderly people are especially at risk. Pregnant women who smoke can also harm their unborn babies. Smoking during pregnancy increases the chances of health problems for the baby, such as low birth weight or breathing difficulties. Even after birth, babies who live in a house with a smoker are more likely to have health problems like asthma or frequent colds. The environment also suffers because of smoking. Cigarette smoke pollutes the air, and cigarette butts create waste. Many smokers throw cigarette butts on the ground, in parks, or on the streets. These small pieces of trash take years to break down and often end up in rivers, lakes, and oceans. They harm animals and the environment. Forest fires are sometimes started by people who throw away burning cigarettes carelessly. Smoking does not only affect health and the environment, it also has financial effects. Cigarettes are expensive. Many smokers spend a large amount of money on cigarettes every month. If a person smokes for many years, they spend thousands of dollars on cigarettes. This money could be used for better things, buying healthy food, traveling, education, or saving for the future. Many smokers realize too late that smoking has taken a lot from them, not just their health, but also their money. Smoking also affects personal and social relationships. Many non-smokers do not like being around smokers because of the smell of cigarettes. The smell stays on clothes, hair, and even in homes and cars. Some people find it unpleasant, and this can create distance in relationships. Smokers may also find it difficult to be in places where smoking is not allowed, such as restaurants, offices, or public transportation. This can limit their activities and make them feel uncomfortable in social situations. For those who have been smoking for a long time, quitting may seem difficult. However, many people have successfully quit smoking and improved their lives. The body begins to heal as soon as a person stops smoking. Breathing becomes easier, energy levels increase, and the risk of serious diseases decreases. Skin starts to look healthier, and the sense of taste and smell improves. The money saved from not buying cigarettes can be used for better things. Quitting smoking is not easy, but it is possible with determination and support. Many people find it helpful to set a goal, seek support from family and friends, or use tools like nicotine patches or counseling. Some people quit immediately, while others do it gradually. Every small step toward quitting is a step toward a healthier life. Conclusion: smoking affects every part of life, health, relationships, finances, and the environment. While it may seem like a small habit at first, its long-term effects are serious. Many people wish they had never started smoking, but the good news is that quitting is always possible. Every person has the power to make the choice to live a healthier life. Understanding the effects of smoking helps people make better decisions. For English learners, reading and discussing topics like this also helps improve language skills while learning about important issues. Smoking is a challenge, but with knowledge and effort, anyone can overcome it.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, Then say the vocabulary word. Informal of saying cigarette.
Stogie.
A receptacle for tobacco ashes and cigarettes and cigars.
Ashtray.
The end of the cigarette which contains the filter and is placed into the mouth to smoke.
Butt.
Reduce the amount taken or used.
Cut down.
A solid, sticky substance that remains when tobacco is burned. It accumulates in the lungs of smokers and is considered carcinogenic.
Tar.
Immediate, complete withdrawal from something.
Cold turkey.
A mechanical device for lighting a cigarette, cigar, or pipe.
Lighter.
A patch that slowly releases nicotine into the body.
Nicotine patch.
A thin strip of wood or cardboard tipped with a chemical that ignites when scraped against a rough or specially treated surface.
Match.
Gum that slowly releases nicotine into the body.
Nicotine chewing gum.
Smoking a cigarette once, a puff. Share a cigarette with someone.
Drag.
To act more forcefully, to regulate or repress.
Crack down.
To start smoking a cigarette.
Light up.
The strength of mind to carry out a decision.
Willpower.
A strong impulse, inner drive, or yearning.
Urge.
A box of cigarettes.
Pack of smokes.
Let's try that faster. A receptacle for tobacco ashes and cigarettes and cigars.
Ashtray.
Informal of saying cigarette.
Stogie.
To start smoking a cigarette.
Light up.
A strong impulse, inner drive, or yearning.
Urge.
A box of cigarettes.
Pack of smokes.
A solid, sticky substance that remains when tobacco is burned. It accumulates in the lungs of smokers and is considered carcinogenic.
Tar.
The strength of mind to carry out a decision.
Willpower.
The end of the cigarette which contains the filter and is placed into the mouth to smoke.
Butt.
Immediate, complete withdrawal from something.
Cold turkey.
A patch that slowly releases nicotine into the body.
Nicotine patch.
Reduce the amount taken or used.
Cut down.
Smoking a cigarette once, a puff. Share a cigarette with someone.
Drag.
A thin strip of wood or cardboard tipped with a chemical that ignites when scraped against a rough or specially treated surface.
Match.
A mechanical device for lighting a cigarette, cigar, or pipe.
Lighter.
To act more forcefully, to regulate or repress.
Crack down.
Gum that slowly releases nicotine into the body.
Nicotine chewing gum.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Crack down. The police is cracking down on drunk driving in our city. Crack down.
The president has passed a law that will crack down on possession of illegal substances. Crack down. Our school has really started to crack down on tardiness. Cut down. You should really cut down on the amount of salt you eat. It's not good for you. Cut down. Our company has decided to cut down our workload, so from now on we leave at 3 p.m. every Friday. Cut down. My doctor told me I need to cut down on fatty foods because of my heart condition. Light up. Honey, you can't light up here. We are in a non-smoking area. Light up. John is addicted to smoking. Anytime and anywhere he has a chance, he lights up immediately. Light up. The government is making it more difficult to light up with all these anti-smoking laws. Willpower. I don't have the willpower to stick to my diet. It's so hard. Willpower. Kathy is a workaholic. She needs to gather more willpower and refuse to work extra hours. Willpower. Willpower and discipline are essential to any person that wants to succeed in life. Urge. I was so angry at him that I felt a sudden urge to hit him. Urge. Last night my wife got an uncontrollable urge to smoke every hour. It was weird. Urge.
And today we have an elementary lesson for you, and we are at the supermarket.
That's right. We're at the grocery store, and we're going to learn some language you can use when you want to pay for your groceries.
So this lesson was requested by one of our users that wanted vocabulary and different phrases that are used in the supermarket when the person is about to pay for all the things they need.
That's right. And we also have some great language that the person who is actually selling the groceries can use.
All right. So let's listen to our dialogue for the first time and see what happens.
Excuse me, sir. This is the express checkout lane for people that have 15 items or fewer. It looks like you have more than 15 items there.
Oh, come on. I have 16 items. Cut me some slack, will ya?
Fine. Please place your items on the belt and push your shopping cart through. Do you prefer paper or plastic?
Plastic. I also have a couple of coupons.
No problem. I'll take those. Sir, these coupons expired yesterday.
Darn. Oh well, I guess it's just not my day. Thanks anyway.
Do you have a club card or will it be cash?
Yeah, I got a club card. Here you go.
Will this be debit or credit?
Debit, please. Also, could I get cash back? $50 would be great.
Yeah, sure. Your total is $78.33. Here's your receipt. Have a nice day.
Well, we can see in this dialogue that the guy was able to buy his food and you know, they were using some really interesting, helpful language.
That's right. And so why don't we look at this language now in Language Takeaway?
Language takeaway.
Okay, we have 6 words for you today. And the first one, the girl, the cashier, says this is the express checkout lane.
All right, so checkout lane.
The checkout lane.
So the checkout lane is the place where you get in line to pay for all the goods you bought.
Right. So the checkout lane. Now, why did she say express checkout lane?
So in grocery stores or in supermarkets, sometimes you have a specific checkout lane that's faster.
Okay.
Because people have less